Hey y'all, how you doing today? All right, I hope everybody's doing well, and I would like to go ahead and say Merry Christmas and thank you so much. Go ahead and get this out of the way. Thank you so much for all of the subscribes, the likes, the shares. It's really amazing. The channel has grown. It's now up to 490 subscribers now, so I'm really happy with that. Um, but enough rambling. Now let's get back to the 8 3/4. Okay. All right. I wasn't entirely happy with the pinion depth. The contact pattern on the teeth was not correct. So I need to now get that contact pattern back in spec. So I think I've seen where some people don't even use this yellow paste. You know, some folks will use grease and they seem to do better with it. I'm going to try that because I'm having a lot of trouble reading the paste and getting a correct look and feel of it. I've got where I took it apart. I took everything apart. Um, this gear, I've got some shims under it. You can see them right there, or under the bearing. I'm sorry, between the gear and the bearing. So um, there's also, I want to point this out real quick. There is a large washer in there. Okay, it's right there. Okay, that large washer only goes one way. One way. You cannot put it the other way. If you try to put it the other way, it will not sit down all the way on there. It's got a chamfer inside, on the inside diameter of that washer. If you try to put it on backwards or the wrong way, you're going to know because it will not go down. It'll stop just short. You'll have a little gap. So, just word to the wise. Okay, so all right, so I'm going to go ahead and get out my been pretty busy with a lot of other things lately, so you know, been actually doing a little cleaning up over there. So yeah, you know, but let's see. The book really doesn't give much in the way of specs as to how much you need. This is more of a thing where you have to just kind of look and feel. So I'm going to try this 46. Okay, try that first, and then we'll go from there. Okay, so see, all right. Now the bad part about this is when you're doing this, if you have to do it 2 or 3 different times, you have to torque this every single time, and that's 240 foot-pounds. Oh my God! So it's kind of annoying. That's the bad part about doing differentials is there's a lot of this back and forth trial and error kind of stuff, and it is kind of annoying. So just the way it is. That's why I haven't went ahead and put in the seal yet, because I'm trying to make sure I get everything the way it's supposed to before I go sticking a seal in there or something like that. I don't want to get damage the seal. I don't know if you noted. I don't know if I said it or not, but I have earlier. I think I told you that I had this thing completely together, but I was not happy with the gear contact pattern, gear tooth pattern. So, nope. Oops. Okay. So I'm going to go back, put this back in there. Get this out of the way just a little bit, give me a little room. Okay, so that's in there now. And this is next. No, of course not. That's not going to work. Let's see. Alright, I'm going to have to get my hammer out. It's already out, it's waiting on me. Okay. Alright. Another thing is you have to go and you have to get your, when you pull this off, you have to go and get a puller to pull this yoke off. And it's really irritating. It's really very irritating. A lot of back and forth, and you have to also hold the yoke and keep it from turning to keep the pinion gear from turning. So you got to do all of that, and it's just a lot of just irritation, I guess. You know what I mean? So anyway. So, and this is what I do to hold this, is I use this to hold it still. Okay. So, all right. Okay, I'm going to give you a little quick rundown. I'm going to torque this down, and then I'm going to measure the preload. Okay, so it has to be about like 30 inch-pounds, 20 to 30 inch-pounds. So, of torque in order to turn this. So, I'm going to run this down and get that set up, and I'll show you. Okay, be right back. Okay, y'all. Torqued it down. It was not good. It was way too tight. So I'm going to have to probably have to add some shims there. If I look over here in the book, yeah, if bearing preload is more than 30 inch-pounds, a thicker shim should be used under the front bearing. So, and if it's less than 20 inch-pounds, you have to use a thinner shim. Okay, so I'm at 46, so I've got to get it a little thicker. So, okay, so I'm going to put you all, and this is what I use to get this puller. Use it to get the yoke off. So I know I could probably sit there and peck on it with a hammer and all of that, and I have, but I don't know, to me this is just a little bit better than possibly beating up this nice little dust shield that's on here. So I'm going to do this real quick and set things up again and go at it again. So like I said it before, if you're doing this yourself, it's trial and error. So there we go. That is loose now. So there we go. There's that. there. I'm just going to put a little oil on this bearing. I'm just not comfortable with this thing being... I cleaned this thing really, really thoroughly, and then in my haste to get the inner pinion bearing on the to get it heated up, I put this one, which is the outer one, I put it on the grill, and I got to looking at it like, wait a minute, that thing looks too small. And I'd already cleaned all of the oil out of it. So anyway, so that's how I heat up. I heated up the inner pinion bearing on a grill, a gas grill, and got it hot, and I froze the pinion gear and shaft, and then I just simply dropped this on. So, and it went all the way on. I didn't have to hammer it or nothing like that, which was really nice. So, really, really nice. It's really nice when you don't have to sit there and beat something off, you know, you just or beat something back on or whatever. Okay. All right, so getting rid of the 46, and I'm going to go move up to more. So let's see, I'm at 46 right now. The thing of it is, you get too many of these shims, and then it'll be too loose. So you got to be careful what you put in there. You can't just put just anything in there. And each of these shims, I've got a bunch of these shims here. You see, I'm measuring them, and what I do is I measure them. I know this pack is 46. This one is 12. So that's going to give me 56, 57, 58 maybe. 59. So, okay. See, 59, 58. So, so that was 12. I think this one's much thicker. This is like 17. Yeah, that one's 17. What's this one? This one, oh, this one's 9. That may actually put me where I want to be. So, oops. 56. Oh, here's a really thin one. That's 8. So, yeah, if you have too many shims, then this thing will be really loose. You don't want it to be too loose. One thing also, you want to make sure that when you're putting these shims together, see, that's 55. So that, I think that's going to work for me. Okay, I may be wrong, but hey, I'm going to give it a shot. So, okay. I had a recent viewer. Well, I'll say this: I had a recent viewer who complained about me talking too much. So all the yak 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 is very painful. I guess I'm supposed to like teach through like mime or something like that. Maybe I should, you know, I don't know. Maybe there's another way of teaching without having to use your saying anything. Not sure what that is, but hey. Anyway. But then I had another one of my viewers, and And I'm just going to go ahead and tell you who it is. It's Mopar Joe. If you are a Mopar fan, you need to be watching his channel. And yeah, I'm just going to go ahead and tell you. If you're a Mopar guy, you need to be watching his channel. Definitely. No doubt about it. So, anyway. Another little tidbit of information for you. This washer is going to go in my yoke in here, okay? And the nut, the pinion nut, is going to go up against it. I put a little oil on there to keep from being there too much friction there, okay? So that's really super important. You want to get that torque reading correct. So, all right. I'm going to pause this again, and I'll show you a little bit more later on, okay? So, be back in just a minute. Okay, y'all, I'm ready to torque this down. This is how I torque. I hold the pinion shaft still. I just put it on the yoke here, and there we go. So, I'm going to go ahead and torque this. I'm going to let you see me in action struggling to torque this. Because 240 foot-pounds gets to be quite a bit. So, now let's see. Yeah, there we go. All right. Yeah, this is kind of nerve-wracking because it's like, you know. And there goes my pipe wrench. Goes back on. Okay. You should have seen me a while ago. I was really wrestling with it. It was like really like, yeah. And I've got to be careful here too because I can like rack my knuckles on this. That would hurt a lot. So, okay. This is probably definitely too much. But, oh man, look at how pretty that just turns. It's just so nice. You know, basically, why you can't leave it like this is because they want enough tension in there. They want the bearings under pressure so that when you start driving this thing going down the road and you put some wear in there, you're not going to have this slop. Have a lot of slop. The pinion. So. Anyway, all right, I'm going to go and now I'm going to take this all back apart again. You see what I'm talking about? Kind of boring. But, like I was saying about Mopar Joe, just Mopar Joe, he commented about this and asked me how things were going on it, and I told him, you know, it's a little difficult, but, you know, let me also preface everything that you're seeing here. This is one of the first 8 3/4 I've had apart and took apart and is doing this work with. Okay, differential expert, very far from that. I am very far from being a differential expert. So if you're watching this video to pick up some information and some knowledge, probably watch and don't do what I do, maybe, okay? But, you know, I am trying. So, all right, take this back apart and get less shim. So I was at 55. I need to come down to maybe like 52. So, got to get it in the ballpark there. So, okay, be right back. Okay, y'all. Got it back out. Okay, so now I've got to go and I've got to get these shims. I've got to measure these shims out. Now what I had was 46. Okay, so here we go. So going, and the thinnest shim I've got is an 8. So going thinner is not an option. So I'm going to have to take what I got, I'm going to have to break it up, and I'm going to have to get some of these down to where I can get it to 50, I'm going to say 52, 53. So, all right, I got one that's 19 right there. There's a 15 and there's a 12. So, thinking maybe a 20. I've got a 20 here. That one. Sorry, that one is a 20. 19, sorry. 19. So, and then I got another one here that is a 15. So, that would give me about 24. Let's see, what is this again? 12. And 19. So maybe two 19s together. Yeah, about 39. And let's see. Okay, I've got 49 here with this one and these two here. So I've got, that gives me 49. All right, I'm going to get this worked out and I'll pick up the video and show you a little bit more. Okay, y'all. All right, I got 52 in the shims, and I'm just running this nut down right now. And okay, and yeah, I'm running it down. So I'm gonna get it run down, get it torqued, and I think I've got the right amount of shims right here. Okay, so we'll look and see. All right, be right back in just a minute. Okay, y'all. I have got the right amount of tension here. All right, so anyway, and it's less than what it calls for in the book. But here's the thing. When this book was made and printed, this thing was printed, you know, in like 64. Okay. So we're now dealing with bearings that may be a little different than what was new back in 1964. So that being that, that's the way it is. Okay. Now, oh, about these shims. You see how that's nice and flat? Okay. So if I can get the camera to focus. Come on, camera, focus. Can we focus? Okay. Well, anyway, nice and flat. Okay, that's the way you want them. If these get damaged, they're pretty well junk. They get bent or dinged or something falls on them, or they get bent somehow or something, like maybe in shipping or whatever, they're pretty well garbage. So just remember that. Um, the packages that you get, like this package here, Motive Gear, had a lot of shims in it. So I'm just keeping these around. I'm not going to get rid of them, throw them away, stuff like that. So anyway, all right. I hope you learned a little bit of something here about this. Man, this thing just turns really nice. It has a little bit of drag. I think that's going to be about right. I hope so, because I tell you what, I really want this to work. Really, really want this to work. So, anyway, um, but yeah, like I said before, if you like the Mopar stuff like I do, give Mopar Joe a look on his channel. There's also a few other channels. There's John Wilburn. There's 318 Will Run. Uh, there's also Sidewinder Shed. Uh, there's a bunch of really good channels out there that are run by, just regular people, and so just something to think about, when you're wanting to look into stuff like this, you know, you want like that or this, which is covered with all kinds of crap. Ah, okay. But, or you want to find out more about that, the 360, which has kind of been put on the back burner because of this. But this was an eventuality that had to happen. So, anyway, all right. So, thank you so much for watching. Really do appreciate everything. All the likes and the shares and the subscribes and all the wonderful comments, too. I do appreciate those, too, as well. And I love that interaction back and forth. And I wish you all a very happy set of holidays. Merry Christmas. So, yeah. Anyway, thank you so much, and God bless, and have a great one.